Welcome back to Bases Beautiful. My name is MD, and today I want to talk about a new direction in card collecting that I've gone in, and in particular a certain project that I've started to kind of kick off the year 2025. I've gotten excited about a particular project all revolving around 1957 Topps. And it began for me, the focus on this aspect of collecting began with this card, the Frank Robinson rookie from the 1957 set. Yes, it is graded at 1, and yes, you can obviously see why. There's a really gnarly tear and crease continuing across the very middle of the card. I was able to win this card at auction on eBay, and it ended up going for less than $100, which if you follow, or if you're trying to get a hold of Frank Robinson rookie cards, you know that's a good price, because this can be, I guess, a fairly expensive card, especially in good condition. And of course, the crease and tear make this less desirable for most people. You can see the tear continues straight through, of course, because it is a tear, and it's a pretty clean tear. It's kind of a straight, almost like it was cut with a razor or something. It kind of surprising how clean of a tear it is coming through. But in any event, that was the first 1957 Topps card that I acquired, and I was looking at it purely from the perspective of getting Frank Robinson's rookie card, wanting to get bookends of his first playing year, last playing year, the year that he was with the Angels. Can't remember if he was 1 or 2 seasons with the Angels, but I don't obviously have that card yet. But so the focus was all on just getting a Frank Robinson card, because honestly, the 1957 set has not been that appealing to me overall when it comes to 1950s or 60s sets. There are others that I've been more drawn to, and it's well known that the 57 Topps set is the first set that Topps implements full photography, color photography on the cards, that this size of card becomes a standardized one. It is reminiscent of the 1953 Bowman color set, which is a gorgeous set, but they don't have any text printed on the front, and so Topps did that with the 57 Topps set. Now, all of that is well known about the 57 Topps set, and I can appreciate the set historically. But the more that I've had this Frank Robinson card, the more I love the look and the feel of this card, just the photography of the set, the settings that you get, the poses of the players. The more that I've looked through, the more I've just come to really be drawn and connected with this set. And, one of the things that I've come to love even more about this Frank Robinson card is just the distinct uniqueness of having a tear on this card. Now, I'm not trying to get tears or PSA 1s on every card. I'm not someone who's just get the card no matter how it looks, just find the right deal or whatever. I care about condition of cards, but I also believe that this kind of condition also tells a story and gives another point of connection to the card itself. And so the more that I've had this 1957 Topps Frank Robinson card, the more I've appreciated this particular card and this card in this condition. Because 1957, this is almost 70 years ago. So it's a very old set, and it is a set that that I feel like when I see a tear like this feels like it feels like it belongs almost, because of the age of the card, the look of the card, the feel of the card, the little bit of this isn't perfectly white, this border. It's kind of an off-white or a cream. All of these things just communicate to me an element of the past that I enjoy and appreciate. And so now, part of this project that I've embarked on is an ongoing set that I'm calling the Gem Mint Ones. And so what I'm doing is I'm collecting 1957 Topps cards, but I'm only collecting them in a 1. And as you'll see with this gorgeous Ernie Banks card here, Mr. Banks, part of what's fun about this aspect of collecting is that when you collect a 1, of course you see that's in the on the holder, but I mean it's rightly judged a 1. I'm not digging for ones that are undergraded. These are accurately graded cards. I'm not looking for anything like that. You see creases down here in the corners, rounded corners. It's decently centered, which is, I'm generally trying to maintain a level of centering, but you're getting a little bit of surface issues, some either scratching or just it feels like there's a little bit of a scratch there on the surface. I mean, I say feels, it appears, I guess is a better term to use, and the creases there. But these cards are, but this is getting me excited. And this is the most fun that I've had in the hobby this year, is starting to hunt down cards that fit this criteria. Like I said, I'm not just buying any cards. I'm not just buying any card that's graded a 1. I want them to have a certain look and eye appeal to me. I also want the patina and whatever damage might be on the card to be aesthetically interesting or consistent without really bothering me in very specific ways. Like with this Frank Robinson card, I've seen some other ones that are very, very snowed out. And sometimes the image of his face is really hard to recognize. That isn't interesting to me. I mean, a little bit of patina and snow is fine, but I'm not trying to mar the visage of the player. I just want the card to have that sense of age and damage to it, and wear. Wear is probably a better term than damage. I mean, obviously this is a damaged card, but I also want to just appreciate the variety that exists within graded ones, because 1 probably has the most variety allowed in terms of damage or wear to a card. Where, I mean, you could have a tear and it becomes a 1. You could have writing somewhere on the card or on the back of the card and it becomes a 1. It could be a 1 because of just, these kind of natural edge wears and a little bit of creasing and different things like that. You could get a card like this, which has a lot of snowing along with edges and the edges or the corners here looking particularly kind of torn rather than just worn. And I don't know if that actually is a difference, or I don't know how all that comes about. Just in terms of history, Randy Jackson here, whose real name was Ransom Jackson. It's such a cooler name. I don't know why he didn't go by Ransom, but they called him Randy. He was actually supposed to be the replacement. The Dodgers traded for him from the Cubs, and he was supposed to be the replacement for Jackie Robinson, as Jackie Robinson was aging and moving toward retirement. But it turned out that Mr. Jackson here ended up getting hurt, suffering, I think it was major knee damage in the 1957 season, and retired, I think either in this season or maybe shortly thereafter. And so the season that he finally was kind of freed up to play there for the Dodgers ends up getting hurt in a significant way and ends his career. But so obviously I'm not just focused on the Hall of Famers. You've got a player like this, and I'm attracted to cards because of the look. I love the stance here of Randy Jackson. I love getting parts of the stadium visible. If I can see architecture in the image and really make out parts of it, I mean, like this to me is not the same kind of thing. I mean, it's a cool pose or whatever, but to me, what's attractive here is the player, not the setting. To me here, part of what's attractive to it is the setting, because I just love old architecture, and I love kind of placing these cards in a time and a place. And there's other cards that do that even more. And here's Al Kaline's card from this set. And you can see also rightly graded a 1. We've got a pretty large crease going across here. We've got a little bit of a tear. Again, decently centered. This is a card graded by CGC, but I'm not. And we've also got some staining, but it's a great looking card. And I want to appreciate, like, 1s can be beautiful too. And just because everyone's really emphasizing card condition, things like that these days, doesn't mean there aren't awesome cards to be found and to be had and purchased, enjoyed, that fit on a bunch of different fronts. And so let's make 1s enjoyable. How about this Gil Hodges? Hall of Famer Gil Hodges here. This one's exciting because it's got a tape stain on it. Kind of struggling here with the focus. There we go. You can see the staining there, some dirt around it. You get this nice, beautiful tape stain right here, telling you this card, and it carries through on the back, this card was taped into some kind of book or maybe on somebody's wall and was just thoroughly enjoyed because some kid or even some adult, really appreciated Gil Hodges and what he brought to the game. But as you'll notice with these, I don't want things that really disfigure the player's face. Sometimes you get a crease that goes right through the eye or right across the face or the head. I really don't want that. That's not the goal of me getting these cards. Some really distinct creasing here on this Pee Wee Reese. We've got kind of a twofold crease coming off here, like a kindergartner drawing the sun in the corner. We've got this crease coming in. There's a crease that kind of cuts across his body a little bit, and then there's a really dynamic crease going across his legs and his arm. And but this Pee Wee Reese card is a really great pose. And then we also get writing on the back. So kind of every front that would knock this down to a 1 is there. And I like it for that reason. And then the last one that I have so far, at least here, I've got 3 cards. One of them's graded on ComC. 2 of them I will probably send to CGC for grading. Because I actually like this, the smaller, compact style of slab. And and of course CGC is more affordable. But how about this Hank Aaron card? Let me start kind of right here so you can appreciate the reveal. You got a little bit of creasing, but this is a pretty sharp card, and you get a little bit of wear, and then boom. Yep, you're seeing that right. Somebody took a hole punch, not perfectly to the corner. I mean, it's not the corner, it's just the very top edge. About 60% of the hole punch did that corner. This is just such a weird thing that this card survived in such really good shape. I mean, you've got a little bit of surface damage coming here, a little bit of scraping, I guess, around the face area, a little bit of a crease. But I mean, pretty sharp edges. Corners look really good. Back you do get, so I mean, this isn't like a 7 or something, but it's a really good example. The registration is slightly off on it, but I'm kind of trying to represent all of the kinds of damage or wear or things that would mark off on a card across this collection of the glorious ones. And that, I mean, just imagine. I mean, I like to imagine that this card was in a set, and some set collector, or some dealer finds it, and he's like, oh wow, a complete 57 top set. So he starts flipping through, and he's like, oh, where's the Hank Aaron? And he's pulling it up out of the box and just seeing how good the edges are. And then he reveals the secret, which is that it is actually a 1 because somebody took a hole punch to it. How does this even happen? Who did this? How did this happen? Was this in a stack of some schoolwork and somebody's just hole punching, and there's a little more tension on the hole punch and pushes through anyway, and then realizes, oh, my Hank Aaron card was in my homework and I just did a hole punch on the edge of it. I don't know how this happens. But anyway, guys, that is my Glorious Ones, Gem Mint Ones collection of 1957 Topps cards. Got a lot of Hall of Famers here. Got one non-Hall of Famer in the mix. I do intend to get more non-Hall of Famers going in here because, as you know, I mean, I love the underrated guys. I love just great images like that Randy Jackson back there, getting to see part of the architecture. So if you have any favorites from the 1957 Topps set that you think you just love the look of, or you appreciate the photography of, or you think I might appreciate, let me know in the comments, because this is an ongoing collection. I've got 7 cards sitting here right now, but like I said, I've got 3 more in my ComC account. This will be an ongoing collection that I'll be doing, and it's actually an affordable way to collect some really fun cards from a really iconic set. And of course, the Mickey Mantle is on my list, and I will need to find the right one that really draws my attention in the right ways without being a hindrance in other ways. And that's part of what's interesting about this. I mean, like I said, I can't just go on eBay and just grab the first one that I see. Some of these pop up like that. Like there was an auction for this Gil Hodges, and I saw it with the tape stains looking pretty nicely centered, and I just immediately was interested in putting in bids and watching that. But I've gone back and forth, watched things for a while, have let things pass, have let other people buy other cards that I was watching because something kind of didn't fully feel right about it. But anyway, that is the Glorious Ones. I'm really enjoying this. It's a lot of fun to collect this way. It's a lot of fun I still love a beautifully centered, crisp, looks like pack fresh, all of that. And to see an example of, and also about this, like collecting the ones, when I come across a 1957 Topps card that appears pack fresh and is highly graded and just looks so nice, this will give me that deeper level of appreciation for it. But I also want to appreciate the fact that these cards made it. They're here, and they got slabbed up, and they're being collected and enjoyed. I didn't just settle for them. I actually sought them out for what they are, and am appreciating even the nicks and bruises and scuffs and creases and and holes and everything else that might exist and can exist. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong with the card at some point in this little mini run collection that I'm working on here. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was enjoyable. Maybe this gives you a little bit of an appreciation for lower grade cards. It's kind of weird, like low grades are kind of underrated now because we put so much of a priority on not just higher grade cards, but getting cards that seem to be undergraded or something. These are not undergraded. These are accurately graded, and I love them for it. I love them for their blemishes and their imperfections, and let's just enjoy the hobby the way that you want to enjoy it. This is how I'm doing it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.